Imagine walking into an American Express office. You're greeted by a furious man in expensive clothes. He's yelling about his black card being declined. Not just any man. He claims to be a Saudi prince. This was no ordinary Tuesday at the office. This was Anthony Gignac's world, a world built on lies. Gignac was known for his lavish lifestyle and audacious claims. He truly believed his own fabrications. This time, however, reality was about to hit hard. The declined card was a crack in his carefully constructed facade. It would eventually lead to his downfall. The clock was ticking for the fake prince. Gignac's anger at the American Express office was palpable. How dare they question his royal status? He spun tales of his oil wealth and influence. He dropped names of powerful figures in the Middle East. The employees, initially intimidated, started to see through the charade. Something wasn't right. His outrage was a performance, a desperate attempt to maintain control. He needed to regain their trust, their belief in his fabricated world. But the seeds of doubt had been sown. This incident at the American Express office was the beginning of the end for Anthony Gignac, the fake prince who had fooled so many. Anthony Gignac's life was a far cry from the opulent world he portrayed. Born in Colombia, he was adopted by an American family in Michigan. His early life was ordinary, a stark contrast to the extravagance he would later crave. Yet even as a child, he displayed a talent for manipulation and deceit. His adoptive parents, unaware of the complex web of lies their son would weave, provided him with a stable home. But Gignac yearned for more. He desired wealth, power, and the allure of a life less ordinary. He found his escape in crafting elaborate fantasies, in becoming someone he was not. His transformation from an ordinary boy to a master con artist was gradual, a slow burn fueled by his insatiable desire for more. He honed his skills, mastering the art of deception. He studied the nuances of wealth and power, learning to mimic the mannerisms of those he sought to emulate. By the time he reached adulthood, Gignac was ready to put his meticulously crafted persona to the test. He shed his former identity, embracing the role of a Saudi prince. It was a role he would play for decades, fooling even the most astute and discerning individuals. Anthony Gignac's life as a fake Saudi prince was a testament to his audacious spirit. He fully embraced the persona, surrounding himself with the trappings of wealth and privilege. He adorned himself in expensive clothing, jewelry, and accessories, meticulously crafting an image of affluence. He frequented luxury hotels and restaurants, demanding the royal treatment he believed he deserved. His entourage, often paid actors or unsuspecting individuals caught in his web of lies, added to his aura of authenticity. He was a master of creating illusions, of blurring the lines between reality and fabrication. His confidence was his greatest weapon. He possessed an uncanny ability to disarm and charm, to make people believe his outlandish stories. He spoke with authority, dropping names of influential figures and boasting of his vast wealth and connections. He preyed on the human desire for proximity to power and wealth. Gignac understood the seductive allure of exclusivity, of being part of something extraordinary. He offered a glimpse into a world most could only dream of, and they, blinded by his charisma and their own aspirations, were all too eager to believe him. Anthony Gignac's confidence grew with each successful con. He became bolder, his schemes more audacious. In 2017, he set his sights on his most ambitious target yet, Saudi Aramco, the state-owned oil giant. He saw an opportunity to exploit the company's recent public offering. Gignac, posing as a wealthy Saudi royal, approached investors with a tantalizing proposition. He offered them exclusive access to pre-IPO shares of Aramco, promising astronomical returns. It was a lie, of course, but a convincing one. He had done his homework, crafting a narrative that seemed plausible. He produced forged documents, fabricated connections, and spun tales of his influence within the Saudi royal family. He played on the investors' greed, their desire to get in on the ground floor of what was being touted as the biggest IPO in history. This time, however, Gignac had flown too close to the sun. His elaborate scheme attracted the attention of someone who would not be so easily fooled. Unbeknownst to him, his days as a free man were numbered. The walls were closing in on the fake prince. Word of Gignac's Aramco scheme eventually reached Jeffrey Soffer, a billionaire real estate developer. Soffer, no stranger to high-stakes deals and sophisticated cons, was immediately suspicious. He had encountered Gignac before and found his behavior odd, his claims dubious. Driven by a mix of curiosity and a desire to expose Gignac, Soffer decided to investigate. He tasked his security team, led by a former FBI agent, with digging into Gignac's past. What they uncovered was a tangled web of lies, deceit, and audacious cons spanning decades. Soffer's team, working tirelessly, began to piece together the truth about Gignac's past. They uncovered his real identity, his history of fraud, and his elaborate schemes that had duped countless individuals and businesses over the years. Armed with this information, Soffer contacted the authorities. The FBI, already familiar with Gignac from previous investigations, took the lead. They launched a full-scale investigation, determined to finally bring the fake prince to justice. The game was up. Section 6. Unmasking Royalty, a trail of lies and fake badges. The FBI investigation into Anthony Gignac's life was like peeling back layers of an onion. Each revelation exposed another lie, another layer of his elaborate fabrication. They discovered a treasure trove of fake documents, forged passports, and counterfeit diplomatic credentials. They uncovered a pattern of behavior, a modus operandi that Gignac had perfected over the years. He would target individuals and businesses eager to believe his royal facade. He would shower them with gifts, promises of lucrative deals, and access to his supposed vast network of influence. His victims, blinded by his charm and the allure of what he offered, often overlooked red flags. They failed to question his inconsistent stories, his lack of verifiable credentials, and his often outlandish demands. The investigation culminated in a raid on Gignac's luxury Miami Beach hotel suite. The agents seized a mountain of evidence: fake diplomatic license plates, fraudulent investment documents, and even a phony security detail uniform. The jig was up. Section 7. Justice served, finally. In 2019, Anthony Gignac's reign as a fake Saudi prince finally came to an end. He was arrested and charged with multiple counts of wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, and impersonating a foreign diplomat. The evidence against him was overwhelming. During his trial, prosecutors presented a compelling case, detailing Gignac's elaborate schemes and the extent of his deception. They called upon his victims, many of whom had lost significant sums of money, to testify about the devastating impact of his cons. Gignac, facing the consequences of his actions, maintained his innocence, claiming he was a victim of circumstance. His defense, however, was unconvincing. The jury found him guilty on all counts. The judge, noting the severity of his crimes and his complete lack of remorse, sentenced Gignac to 18 years in federal prison. It was a harsh sentence, but one that reflected the magnitude of his deception and the countless lives he had impacted. Section 8. The enduring allure of a good con. The story of Anthony Gignac, while exceptional in its audacity, is a stark reminder of the human capacity for deception and the vulnerability to being deceived. Gignac's success, however fleeting, highlights the enduring allure of a good con. We are drawn to stories of charismatic individuals who defy the odds, who live lives seemingly beyond our reach. This fascination, this desire for the extraordinary, can blind us to the truth, making us susceptible to those who prey on our aspirations and vulnerabilities. Gignac understood this human weakness, exploiting it to his advantage. He crafted a persona so convincing, so alluring, that people wanted to believe him, even when faced with evidence to the contrary. He played on our desires, our aspirations, and our inherent trust in others. His story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that things are not always as they seem. It underscores the importance of critical thinking, of questioning everything, especially when faced with individuals who seem too good to be true. Section 9. A cautionary tale: trust but verify. The story of Anthony Gignac is a stark reminder of the importance of due diligence. In an age where information is readily available at our fingertips, there is no excuse for blind trust. We must be vigilant, skeptical even, when it comes to matters of finance and business. It is easy to be charmed by charisma, seduced by promises of wealth and success, but we must remember that appearances can be deceiving. Gignac's victims, blinded by his carefully constructed facade, failed to take the necessary steps to verify his claims. The old adage, trust but verify, has never been more relevant. We must take the time to research individuals and businesses, to scrutinize their credentials, and to seek independent verification of their claims. A few minutes of due diligence can save us from a lifetime of regret. The story of Anthony Gignac, the fake prince who fooled so many, should serve as a wake-up call. It is a reminder that we are all vulnerable to deception, but it is also a call to action. We must be our own first line of defense, arming ourselves with knowledge and a healthy dose of skepticism.